Welcome back to the biggest esports tournament in the country.
That's right, it's been a long week, but we finally made it to the final event, that being the Sonic Blast tournament. Several teams from around the world will be competing to see who can clear this beloved game the quickest. I'm the artist formerly known as McGriddle.
And I'm Zimbo Johnson. We'll be covering this race for all of you watching at home. Right, explain to me what's happening again, Spiny.
We're competing in the Sonic Blast race. I've been training ages for this.
I mean, what's the point of the team if you're the only one playing?
If I go down, you go down with me.
I don't think this is a healthy friendship.
I've never even heard of this game, man. I thought we were here for the Gex speedrun.
Nie jestem nawet wielkim Soniciem. Jestem tu tylko dla Spiniego.
Honestly, Chris seems like a better fit for this.
Well, that'd be kind of complicated considering the restraining order.
Chris got a restraining order against you?
Oh no, me and Sonic Blast. I am not to come within 500 feet of Chris with the intention of playing Sonic Blast.
Why?
I made her sit through the game with me 4 times for the channel and she still hasn't forgiven me for that.
Well, everything about this is stupid.
Hey! This is my life's work, Stort!
Well, your life work is stupid, Spiny. Okay, stop. Put that away. I hate it when you do that. Jeez. Let the race begin!
Okay, so we're starting off on Green Hill Zone. I could talk about how the aspect ratio of this game isn't very fitting for Sonic. I could say that Donkey Kong Country did a better job with using 3D models for sprites. I could say this is far from the best level design that we've had in a Sonic game. But you have eyes. Well, maybe you don't, which in that case, you can appreciate the game's lovely soundtrack. Look, this game doesn't even really have the status of being infamous because your average human doesn't know the damn thing exists. If I may offer it some compliments, the decision between playing as Sonic and Knuckles is a nice one. They both have different abilities, Knuckles having his glide and climbing abilities, and Sonic having a nice double jump. Out of the two, I think Sonic is more fun to play as, since the double jump really does help with clearing the levels quickly. These are very basic levels, but you can test how fast you can clear them while playing as Sonic, while Knuckles' gliding and climbing can be more useful for collecting rings or getting to certain special stages. There have been many Green Hill zones more visually pleasing than this one, but it isn't without its own merits. Like a lot of the Game Gear releases, it likes to take Green Hills and add an underwater/underground section to it. Musically, I feel like I've already kind of mocked it, but it's fine, you know, for a Game Gear release, sure, why not? You can do worse than this. I think Sonic Blast soundtrack is just more forgettable than anything. With the exception of one stage that you will spend so much goddamn time in, you better believe that song is going to glue itself to your brain. The boss battle is decent. Robotnik actually doesn't look too bad in this game. The fight itself is just a simple boomerang, but you'll actually come to see that this game does get really creative with its boss fights. This is the most simple one, but it at least has more than Robotnik hovers over you. Looking at you, Sonic 1 for Game Gear.
And Spiny is the first to make it to Yellow Desert Zone. Wait a second. Spiny's ahead?
Moving on to Yellow Desert Zone, it's fine, I guess. Like Green Hill Zone, it's incredibly easy to complete. The level's pretty much over right as it's starting. It's like Forces in a way. Granted, that game got released on every major console in 2017, while this got released on a fucking Game Gear. Maybe they wanted this game to be really quick, considering the battery life on the Game Gear. Oh wait, Blue Marine Zone exists. Never mind. I promise not to say anything that stupid ever again.
He's bluffing.
What I will praise about this stage is that incredibly creative boss fight based on Sun Wukong. What a great design and concept for a boss fight. Don't get me wrong, it's a really easy fight, but pacing-wise, it fits right at home in a Sonic game. I think you could have a slightly longer boss fight with more complicated attacks as you get closer to defeating it, but you could also ask for a slightly longer level leading up to that boss fight. As it is, it's right at home with this game, and definitely a highlight of Sonic Blast. I've gotta say, I don't really hate this game. I'm not going to stand here and tell you that it's actually great and just misunderstood. I mean, why go out of your way to play this when there's so many better options out there? But if you're just bored and taking a look at the Game Gear titles on Sonic Origins Plus or Adventure DX, I don't think spending 20 minutes on this one would be a terrible experience. At the very least, it lets you take a look at where Sega was at the time.
Wow, I cannot believe it. Spiny's actually maintaining the lead on this race.
Okay, the shock from both my friends and the announcers is a little hurtful, I'm not gonna lie.
Holy moly! Nearly all the racers are still clearing up Green Hills, and he's already on his way to Red Volcano Zone.
But watch out, Spiny, there is one racer who is gaining up on you. Competitor Lucas is just starting Act 3 of Yellow Desert Zone.
Is that Lucas from the hit movie The Wizard?
Czy nie powinien być teraz starszy o jakieś 30 lat?
Can one of you, stab him?
You're going down, Spiny. You don't stand a chance against me.
I don't like his voice. Moving on to Red Volcano Zone, we actually start to get a little bit of a challenge, emphasis on a little bit. It's not a very hard stage to clear, but there is more obstacles for sure. There's lava that you need to avoid landing on, and enemies on the stage that can shoot at you from a distance. Granted, the stage does give you enough rings to where if you want to be ballsy, you can just jump through these parts and collect more rings while you're still flickering from getting hit. Like the first two stages, it's relatively short, both acts. The boss battle for this zone is once again interesting and even somewhat challenging. Really all you need to do is get the rhythm of it down and you'll be fine. It's a repetitive fight. But getting that rhythm down can take a minute. But yeah, there you go, another relatively well-executed boss fight. Hell, I think I would go as far as to say Blast has some of the better concepts for boss battles in the series. It's not like I'm saying too much, the series doesn't have the best boss fights. It's not really one of Sonic's stronger qualities in my opinion. But still, the ones in Blast are all pretty good. Moving on to Blue Marine Zone.
Zimbo, I love you, man, but I am not sitting through another second of this.
McGriddle, I gave you a kidney.
Look at what we are dealing with right now. I'm sorry, but 20 years of friendship is not worth having to look at this. Also, it's formally known as McGriddle. Fucking bitch.
Yeah, this game has an especially bad water stage. Both acts are most likely in my top 5 worst levels of the entire franchise. One of them is a maze that takes forever to get through, and the other is a tiny level extended by how horrible the pipe mechanic in this level works. You can get sucked into these things really easily without trying to, so even if you know exactly where you need to go, chances are you'll still get stuck for a while. I have seen some good guides on ways you can avoid this, but none of this can be assumed by someone playing this game for the first time. You need to have a pretty good understanding of how this game works to avoid the shit show that is these fucking pipes. Like I said, I played through this game 4 times on the channel, so I did eventually get the hang of the stage. I did learn how to get through the stage quicker, but it never became even remotely enjoyable. This is a bad stage, period. I can sit here and do my best to defend Sonic Blast as a whole, but I cannot defend this god-awful stage. Sonic 4 had better level design than this. But once again, that being said, the boss is decent. The entire thing takes place underwater, and the only way to get air bubbles is by allowing Robotnik to shoot at you, and moving out of the way really quickly. The arrows hitting the ground will cause an air bubble to rise. So it becomes a battle where managing your time is a factor. You could try to quickly hit Robotnik as many times as possible, but you might run out of air. This boss fight gives you basic choices, but basic choices that are just enough to make this one interesting. You can choose how ballsy you want to be here, and I appreciate that. Not as good as the one from Yellow Desert or Red Volcano, but still, it's unique in its own way, and I can appreciate that.
Alright, so Spiny and Lucas are neck to neck in this race. Lucas just cleared the Blue Marine boss, while Spiny cleared it seconds ago. Spiny still has his lead, but it's a very light lead.
Spiny! You should be embarrassed that you even bothered showing up! No one can defeat me at Sonic Blast! Not you, not your team, not even the protagonist from that movie I was in! You're going down!
Did only your voice age? Did you, take up smoking?
Don't let him get into your head, Spiny. You got this.
So, this is it then?
I mean, it's not like you left me with much of a choice here.
It's a shame, really, seeing my own flesh and blood grow into such a waste.
Dad, I don't know when we'll see each other again, but it might not be for a while. Is there really nothing else you have to say to me?
I've got plenty to say to you. You are completely in over your head. The way you choose to spend your time is foolish. And you'll never amount to anything.
Stop having flashbacks about your father and get your head in the game. No, yeah, when he looks off in the distance like that, that's what he's doing. He told me about it. It's creepy, and I don't like it.
We end this adventure off with Silver Castle Zone, a somewhat deceptive level. You enter it seeing all these portals and think, ah shit, we're ending on another maze. But honestly, this level isn't hard to navigate at all. There are a few obstacles in the stage that are trickier than what we saw in previous levels, but it never gets even half as tedious as Blue Marine Zone. Now, I've played my fair share of Sonic Game Gear titles, and I'd even go as far as to say this one has a charitable final stage. As for the final boss, which Lucas isn't on yet, sweet, it's creative, but kind of a weak final boss. I mean, I've never seen this exact concept be done in one of these games before, and the sprite work is also pretty interesting. Probably one of the more detailed parts of this game. It's just all you do is move left and right. Sometimes Robotnik will go several moves in a row without changing the direction he's shooting from, so you can literally just stand there as he hurts himself. It gets some points for trying something new out, but definitely takes a lot of steps back in terms of difficulty. Blue Marine Zone and Red Volcano Zone had way more challenging bosses than this one. Anyways, that was Sonic Blast.
Spiny has cleared the final boss, and now all he has to do is defeat the secret final boss and he wins the race. Why is the closing cutscene playing?
Wait, what?
Did you not collect the... Did you not... Did you fucking... Did you not collect the emerald, Spiny? Did you not fucking do this, you little bitch? Lucas did, and now he's starting the secret final boss. Oh, so that's how Spiny was keeping up. By being a fucking cheater.
Wait a second, I didn't cheat, I just didn't know that we were supposed to.
Alright, Spiny is disqualified, and... honestly, Lucas is probably winning. Everyone else is still stuck on Blue Marine Zone.
Told you. I wouldn't have even been impressed by you winning, but I'm even less impressed by you not winning. You fucking loser.
You'll get it next time, man. Don't let it bother you.
Would have I even been on Blue Marine Zone yet? If I did the fucking special stages.
Byłeś jedną z 2 osób, które w ogóle przekroczyły ten etap, jeśli to ma jakiekolwiek znaczenie.
I don't understand what that green guy is saying. Is that just me?
No, only Spiny seems to understand him. And I'm not even sure if he really does or not.
Och, pieprzcie się.
What is that, Polish?
Nah, I don't know Polish. It's Google Translate Polish, which is like Polish, but there's a lot of room for error.
Yes, I'm the best. I can play Sonic Blast the quickest. Me, no one else.
Okay, so I'm not gonna be a speedrunner. Back to my goal of clearing every game in the series. If I complete every game in the series, then people will finally respect me.
So what's next?
Well, Advance is already recorded, but after that, do you want to record Superstars with me, Stuart?
Yeah, sure, I'm down. You're kind of neglecting the last calls for Rush and 3D Blast, though. Are they even coming out?
Someday probably.
Potrzebujesz lepszego harmonogramu. Spiny.